The man you're going to meet, you've probably seen, but don't know his name. He's been an actor for almost a half-century. His name is Luke Askew, and he is the subject of today's Senior Scene.
All right. Quiet on the set. And action.
Luke Askew started his movie career with what turned out to be some of the most memorable of Hollywood films. Hurry Sundown with Michael Caine, Cool Hand Luke with Paul Newman, Easy Rider with Jack Nicholson and Peter Fonda, and The Green Berets with John Wayne. A year ago, after several visits, he and his wife moved to Portland.
You know, the thing is, I had decided I wanted to be an actor years before that, and I'd done an off-Broadway show. And I didn't like it. I didn't like doing the same thing 8 times a week. And I began to monkey around with it while I was doing it and not being very serious about it. And then other things came along. Life intervened, let's say. And then I got kind of into rock and roll. And who can possibly be serious about that? And then as a result, a woman named Joyce Selznick, who was in charge of new talent at Columbia Pictures in New York, saw my picture and asked to meet me. Now, I didn't know that this was the woman that everybody in New York wanted to meet, because regardless of what they said in New York about not selling out, they all wanted to be in the movies. This was the woman they wanted to meet. She asked me to meet her. I met her. She put me in the business.
When you get to the right place with the right people, quarter this. You know, this could be the right place. The time's running out.
Hey, man. Hey, if we're going, we're going. Let's go.
I was so full of myself that I didn't pay attention. I wish that I had paid a lot more attention, let's say, to Paul Newman. Paul used to invite me in his dressing room on the set of Cool Hand Luke and start telling me what the business was like and what it was going to be like and how it was going to work or not work for me, and I didn't listen to him. I didn't pay much attention to what he had to say, because I was, frankly, when I first got into business, I was much more interested in the fringe benefits than I was the business itself.
This gang been doing so good, the captain decided to give you something special. You got yourselves a whole road of touring to do. And I want to see you roll it. Pick up your shovels. Get with it. Move!
Bear's sure gonna be walking the road today.
What's the deal? Man, you think you've been working hard? This mother's gonna break your...
I learned a lot from Strother Martin. I learned a lot from Strother Martin. First of all, when I came out to do Cool Hand Luke, I was a New York actor. And none of the other actors on the set wanted to have anything to do with me, because at the time there was this huge gap between the two coasts. If you were a New York actor, you were immediately considered to be better than a Hollywood actor. And I'm not sure I disagree with that. But there was a bit of hostility. And at the time, the way movies were made is they put everybody on the same plane, a chartered plane. We drove to the set in big vehicles, even like a bus, like a school bus. The only person who walked over and said hello to me and tried to make me feel comfortable on that plane to Stockton, California, to shoot Cool Hand Luke was Strother Martin. And he just came over and sat down beside me. He had an empty seat beside me. Nobody would even sit there. And he came over and sat down and sat there for the entire flight into Stockton, and he kind of interviewed me. He was a mentor of sorts. On that picture, he would come over and say, don't worry about it, Luke. It'll be all right. Who's worried? That was my persona.
And resisting arrest, 1 year.
I was trying to keep in all the rain.
Get the wax out of your ears. You call the captain, captain.
Yes, sir.
And you call the rest of us boss, yeah?
Yes, boss.
This man is gonna make us proud of him, Mr. Huncutt. Raymond Pratt.
Here, Captain.
Breaking, entering, and assault. 5 spot. And a seaman.
Expect that should come in real handy around here, Captain.
Maybe. Lucas Jackson.
Here, Captain.
Maliciously destroying municipal property while under the influence. What was that?
Cutting the heads off of parking meters, Captain.
We ain't never had one of them before. Where'd you think that's gonna get you?
I live here because it's beautiful. I lived in Southern California for 30-some-odd years and never really liked it. One day I was living there. I don't mean that I didn't like life, but I didn't like Southern California. I've never liked it. There are people running studios who are CEOs, just like all the other CEOs you read and hear about. They don't love the business. They don't love films. They're not interested in actors. They don't even know what we do. They're uneasy with it because it's not definable. They're not easy with writers because they're not easy with the creative process. So they've done what they wanted to do when they first took over the business, and that is they've turned it into an industry. They refer to movies as product, like it was something, you know, shaped and stamped, put in a can and sold over the counter. And that's the way they like it. It's turned into a factory town.
If you want to see Luke in his most recent film, it's called Frailty, and it's available at your local video store. You know, we think each generation is special, and that's why we're here. And we hope that you agree, and that you'll join us next time when we bring you more stories about your generation. I'm Ted Bryant.